Welcome to day 233 of our DeSo journey. I'm Ed Krasenstein here with my twin brother Brian. And remember, these videos are being sponsored by Crypto Droids.
Yeah, and every day I'd like to kind of just bring up something about crypto droids. Uh, they're doing community giveaways. They're going to be giving away a lot. If you're buying their NFTs, you're going to be in line for some pretty cool giveaways. So check that out for sure.
Yeah, so it's not too much news today. Chamath Palihapitiya, again, he was on a podcast, the All In podcast, and he mentioned DeSo. He didn't really go into talking too much about it, but they were talking about Solana and some other up and coming cryptos with a strong developer community, and he threw DeSo in there. So it's always good to see him mention it. It would be cool if he actually posted on DeSo. He used to, but he hasn't posted in over a couple months now. We'll see. Maybe he's waiting for the Coinbase listing. Maybe he's just super busy. Well, not maybe. I'm sure he is.
Yeah, I think it was good that he's still continuing to talk about it. He was talking about it in relationship to like the developer communities that are building on top of them, and I think it's kind of cool that he's talking about it, the developer community on DeSo, just as the Octane Fund gets ready to start divvying out some big cash to some of these projects. So I think the developer community is only a fraction of what it's going to be here in the next probably 6 to 12 months. I'm looking forward to see what the Octane Fund is going to kind of spur on. As they give money to these first rounds of projects, it's going to probably bring attention and eyeballs from other developers on other crypto projects and just in the other developers in general to come here and try and build something that's worth getting an investment. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, definitely. And in other news, Paul Burke's BitClout Plus, it's now rebranded Plus, has had an update. And that update integrates something called Clout Mask. Another developer on DeSo created this Clout Mask app, I guess you could call it. It's actually a browser plugin that allows you to essentially mimic anyone else's profile. So if I wanted to, let's say, act like I was Tiffany Trump, I could go to Tiffany Trump's profile, click the little mask icon at the top, and I would be viewing her profile as if I was her. And of course, you can't see messages that are being sent back and forth, and you can't see other personal data that would be kept private. But you can actually go into somebody's inbox and see who they've been having messages back and forth with. You just can't see the text. And you can view the wallet of the person. Everything that you can do pretty much from your own profile, you can do as if you're this other person.
And I guess that's the genius of decentralized social media. All the information is on the blockchain. So unless it's encrypted, i.e. the messages actually, you can see everything. And it is kind of cool to like go into people's inboxes and see who they're kind of writing to and who they're communicating with. Like who's Natter communicating with, who is May Beam communicating with, who's Tiffany Trump communicating with. So yeah, I think that's pretty cool.
And you can't like,
but I mean, I guess if you're the person, it might not be cool. So, I mean, that's something to consider when you're making private messages to people. Do you want to publicly see who you're messaging? Because if you don't, then maybe you want to go somewhere else to communicate.
Yeah. And I mean, you can't see the text, but you can see if the person writes back, but you can see, okay, this person contacted Natter, he didn't reply. This person contacted Natter and he did reply, and they had a long chain. So you just see these empty text boxes. So it's kind of cool if you're an eavesdropper, if you like spying on people. But that's now part of the Plus plugin. Also, added to the Plus plugin, they've removed the unfollow links from feed posts. They've added node.deso.org as a supported node, which is cool. So you can now use it on that node as well. And they changed the decline NFT button to the return NFT button for NFT transfer. So if you don't want the NFT that's being transferred to you, you can click return and it returns it to them.
Right. And I think it makes more sense to return. It's more you're returning it, you're returning the NFT. I mean, I guess you're declining it too, but return's a nicer way, I think.
Yeah, and I mean, we both use we use a plugin frequently for different features. So I'm glad Paul continues to develop it. And finally, OctoPosse, we had them on our show last night at 8 p.m. Eastern time. They opened up their coin during a Clubhouse room.
Yeah, I went to the clubhouse room. It was at 8 p.m. Eastern time last night. Team was there. Cyrus was there. Matt Hope, who we interviewed yesterday, was there. And I'm like just really excited about this project. And I think that they did it on a Friday night opening the coin, so I don't think maybe it got as much attention as it could have. But like the project is just so cool because it's like a whole strategic game, and those left at the end are going to share in a pot of $50,000. So if you own, we talked about this yesterday, there's going to be 4 generations of OctoPosses, and they can mate with each other, but there's more one sex than another, so it's gradually gets less and less mating, and at the end there's going to be somewhere around anywhere between probably 50 and 200 fourth generations in existence, depending on how people play this game. And those people are going to share in this huge pot of $50,000.
Yeah, well, so
denominated
it's not exactly $50,000. Number one, it depends on the price of DeSo. At today's price of DeSo, I guess it would be $50,000, but not really. It could be more than $50,000, but they're also going to be taking the royalties from the creator coin for all secondary sales during that time period and adding that to the pot as well. So it has a chance to be actually quite a bit more than $50,000.
Well, and Smart Alec, he's also the coder behind.
I'm sorry. Wait. Let me fix that. No, I don't think it's the creator coin royalty. It's the artist royalty that they're
right. But I was just going to say, Smart Alec is the one building the code to run all this. So I think what we're seeing on DeSo is this, I guess, like people getting together. So you have artists and developers and marketers. They're all teaming up to create these cool projects like OctoPosse. And when you see stuff like that happen, you see like massive innovation within spaces. And I think that that's what we need. We need DeSo to kind of bring up the NFT space, and people to come to DeSo and say, wow, that's really cool what they're doing with NFTs. And like Natter wants to see utility NFTs. A lot of these artistic art NFTs can also be utilized for various purposes. So the art NFTs can also be utility NFTs. And I hope we see more of this, and just mad props to OctoPosse because I love what they're doing.
Yeah, I think artistic art NFTs is a little bit redundant, but I think we get your point, Brian. OctoPosse is holding a giveaway. They're giving away 10 DeSo and 10 OctoPosse NFTs, which is really incredible. So right now they have a thread open, a post open on their profile, and they have 3 different ways to enter. Number one, you can enter by liking the post, reclouding it, and following OctoPosse. The second way is you can join their Discord, and they have a link to the Discord. And the third way is you can follow OctoPosse NFT on Twitter. And so you can enter 3 different ways. Good luck to whoever wins. I mean, that's an incredible prize, 10 DeSo, which is, over $750 right now, plus 10 NFTs which, they're going to be selling for 0.3 DeSo each.
They're how much? Oh, 0.33 DeSo each is what they sell for. So I mean, that's like another 3 DeSo, 3.3 DeSo of NFTs. So I mean, that's a decent amount as well. Another project, obviously using the gamification of things and kind of utility of NFTs is CryptoDroids, who we mentioned was our sponsor. But there's a whole laundry list of different NFTs that are kind of turning to this, and I love it because I think that the space is getting a little overcrowded. I don't think there's a ton of people in DeSo yet, and there's a ton of NFTs popping up. But when you start utilizing different features and you start gamifying it, you kind of separate yourself from the pack. So I think it's kind of what we're going to see. It's going to be a trend.
Yeah, and I think that's all we have for day 330 or day 233 of our DeSo journey, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow.